There are lots of mid-size three-row SUVs, but not very many with a luxury bent. That's the Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. For just over $50,000, it's fully loaded, and it gives you features that you wouldn't expect to find on a non-luxury car. So that means, well, you're saving money, but you're not skimping on all the technology and the comfort inside. I like this vehicle already. I will tell you the new features it has for 2023. There's a slight refresh, and of course, I'll drive it. You want a new Palisade? Well, you can't get one unless you sell your car first, and you can do it right here on CarGurus. Type in a few details, get a cash offer from dealers nationwide, and if you like their price, they'll pick it up and they'll pay you. The Palisade was new for 2020. For 2023, it gets a refresh, particularly right up here. These are not daytime running lamps. These are actually the turn signals. The running lamps are below here, the headlights are over there. Kind of a confusing face, and there's a lot of different elements, but it is different than the last 2022 Palisade. You'll just see different shapes, different cutouts, wider grille. This pattern is exclusive to the Calligraphy. All these silver painted elements on the front here. Every other trim, and there's 5 in total, gets blacked out treatment. This one also has the 20-inch two-tone wheels because this is the top end trim, and when you go to the back, well, those taillights are different. There's new taillights for the 2023 Palisade. All these hairline elements on this silver section here, they do nothing but just look cool. I like that. And even though the rest of the vehicle looks black on many angles, this is actually green. You can see it's sparkling here. That seems to be the trend among many automotive paints, where things look very dark, but they're actually multi-tinted. I like this. There's 18 cubic feet of storage space behind this third row. When they power fold, you get 46. And when you tip those captain's chairs down, you get 86. The Palisade comes as a 7 or 8 passenger SUV. In this Calligraphy trim, you're treated to special textures. All these nice wavy lines on the door inserts and the top of the seats, the thin white lines in this black polished trim, and this soft faux suede headliner. It looks and it feels upscale. It's the detail that matters. It always is. From the pattern here on this aluminum trim to the way it curves to the feeling of this dash. That's not leather, but it's a really good leatherette. It's a good rubber. Everywhere you touch, everything you see is high quality. In many cars, the big screen you see here is optional, and the baser cars, you get a tinier version, not in the Palisade. 12.3 inches, touchscreen, navigation, standard on every trim. Only the digital instrument panel is optional. It's standard on the Calligraphy because we got all the options, but basically what you see here is what you'll see in any Palisade. What I like most about the lower console is this small touchscreen. It doesn't take over the entire space. So I can go from front to rear really easily, change the fan direction, but everything else is manual, including the drive modes. Really easy to adjust here. Parking sensors, and the heated and cooled seats for the front row here. These are among the nicest second row captain's chairs in the segment. Some unique features. They both heat and they cool. They've got winged headrests here that cradle your neck very nicely. And on top of that, there's USB ports built into the front seats, so you don't really have to juggle around down here. Plug it right here. And if the front passenger wants to use it, they can too. Plus, the third row is heated. That's pretty rare. Hyundai's infotainment, pretty easy to use. Aside from these small little icons that all look the same in the same color, I don't really like that, but you will notice what things look like once you get used to it. Wireless Apple CarPlay, that's always nice. Navigation could be a little better. The maps are starting to look a little crude compared to some of the newer cars that are out there, but still, this comes standard, pretty nice. The setup is really what I like the most. This is most like BMW. You get menu, sub-menu, and then the actual thing you're adjusting. And it has a description for everything. So when you're stopped, it makes adjusting these things so much easier. You see exactly what's happening. No need to go into the owner's manual, not even on the system itself. There's a few interesting things too, like passenger talk. If you activate this, it'll amplify your voice in the first row to those people in the second and the third rows. Like a lot of Hyundais, you can use a digital key, your phone, to unlock and start the car. The driver's seat, it's called ergo motion. That's Hyundai's word for massage. And it'll do other Hyundai things like recirculate the air when it knows you're washing the windshield. It's kind of interesting. The digital instrument cluster is great, like in every Hyundai. You get multiple animations, very easy to see. If you want to see your driving modes, it's in the center screen there. The base ones just have a 4.2-inch color display between two analog gauges. I think this is a welcome upgrade. And a feature which is unique to the whole Hyundai group, blind spot cameras on either side. It's just relief being in the Palisade. These seats, the ride, the lack of noise, all the heating on the steering wheel, the quality of the leather. The Palisade is a road trip car, or it's an executive commuter car, however you want to call it. It just feels nice. I'll give you an example. Get a Chevy Traverse, which this competes against. Get a Honda Pilot. Option those vehicles up to $50,000. They don't look or feel half as nice. Hyundai's done a great job with suspension tuning. There's nothing fancy going on here. There's no air suspension, nothing like that. So you get a ride that's just well tuned. It is on the cushy side of things because this is not meant to be anything sporty. So if I were to push this right now, which, okay, fine, I will. Yeah, it's a little coarse. The engine is too. It's a 3.8-liter V6, 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. There's a sport mode, there's paddle shifters. You don't want to use any of them. So when you do start to push the Palisade, you will notice there's some more roll in it. That's just how it is. And the engine does sound kind of coarse, and that 8-speed automatic transmission doesn't quite shift as quickly as you'll find in luxury brands like a BMW. So from a dynamic perspective, no, this is gonna fall short on almost every measure. But for the way families need to drive calmly, it's gonna excel. This engine is shared with the Kia Telluride, and it moves pretty well. Not amazingly because there's no turbochargers, there's no hybrid assist. So in that way, it's just a big old V6. It gets the job done. And it also tows up to 5,000 pounds, which is also competitive in this segment. The fuel economy is average, 19 city, 25 highway, 21 combined. Nothing to brag about there, but nothing you're gonna hate either. And of course, that's regular fuel, not premium grade. Standard on every Palisade is Hyundai's Highway Driving Assist. So when you're on a marked highway, using the cruise control, press the little steering wheel button icon on the steering wheel, and it will track the lanes. It will basically self-steer in limited capacities. That's nice that that's a standard feature. Upper trims like this Calligraphy have a little bit more. They add evasive steering assist, a few more features that are just, well, more full-featured, but the basic system is there on every Palisade trim. The Palisade comes with 5 different driving modes, and if you put it in sport, you get a nice little hug. The seat bolsters here in the driver's seat actually come in automatically to prepare for more aggressive maneuvering. I like that. They also do it automatically in any mode once you go above 80 miles an hour. Nice little feature there. And on top of the bolsters, this seat also has a massage function. Not for the passenger, only the driver. Front-wheel drive is the standard drivetrain on any Palisade trim. On this trim, the Calligraphy, all-wheel drive is a $1,900 option. That's pretty much standard fare, standard pricing. But I would say you do want all-wheel drive. Unless you are down in the south with no snow ever, get the all-wheel drive. When you do that, there's actually a lock button in the middle of this driving mode selector that will keep it as close to 50-50 split as possible. That's very useful when the surface is very slippery and you don't want any delay in having the wheels get traction. That is important. You could take the Palisade through tight corners. It doesn't really want to do that. It doesn't exactly fight you, but it's not the most willing partner to dance around. But as far as brakes go, they're pretty good. I like the pedal feel. The 2023 Hyundai Palisade starts at $35,250. There's 5 trims, and this calligraphy is $52,610 with destination and carpeted floor mats. Compared to the competition, well, it's a similar price. Honda Pilot, Mazda CX-9, Nissan Pathfinder, Ford Explorer, Toyota Highlander, they all run in the same price category. The difference is, the Palisade at the highest price feels more luxurious than any of them. This is the perfect way to spec a Hyundai Palisade, the top calligraphy trim, because you're getting features and technology that you would find in real luxury brands that cost $10,000 or $20,000 more. Now, in the mid-30s or even the 40s where this vehicle starts and where a lot of them sell, I wouldn't necessarily consider a Palisade as my first choice, because there's a lot of competitors out there that are doing very similar things at similar prices. So if you're gonna get a Palisade, go for broke. And you're not gonna go broke, it's just over $50K. So for more details, for more reviews on SUVs and every type of vehicle out there, go to CarGurus.com, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.